Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to tackle something that I think we've all struggled with, small talk. But we're not just trying to make it less awkward. No, we're going to learn how to turn it into a real deal tool for making genuine connections. So are you ready to turn that painful silence into something amazing? Let's get into it. You know that exact feeling, right? You're at a networking event or maybe just waiting in line for coffee and bam, the pressure hits. It feels like you're suddenly on stage and you're supposed to be brilliant, funny, and unforgettable. And that silence, it feels so loud. It's this weird performance anxiety we all get. I mean, from day one, we're basically taught that to win at socializing, we have to be the most interesting person in the room. We think we need these incredible stories up our sleeve, these perfect, witty one-liners. But what if that whole way of thinking is actually the problem? What if it's completely backward? So here's what we're going to do in this explainer. First, we're going to completely flip the script on how you think about small talk and take all that pressure off. Then we'll dig into a technique that can make any conversation deeper. After that, I'm going to give you an actual toolkit of questions you can start using tonight. And finally, we'll see how this all connects to the one skill that every great relationship is built on. Okay, this right here, this is the single biggest idea we're going to talk about today. It is a total paradigm shift. And honestly, once you get this, everything else just clicks into place. It takes all the weight off your shoulders. Just look at the difference here. On the left, that's the old way. It's all about you. The stress, the scrambling for cool stories, competing for a chance to talk. It's exhausting. But on the right, that's the new way. It's not about you at all. It's about them. It's about genuine curiosity, about actually listening, and about making the other person feel like they're the only one in the room. That's where real connection happens. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Seriously. Think about the best conversations you've ever had. Was it because the person was dropping names and telling you about their amazing achievements? Or was it because, for a few minutes, they made you feel totally seen and heard? That feeling is what people remember. Okay, so if the goal is to be interested, how do you actually do that? You can't just fire off random questions, right? Well, there's a specific technique that can turn a boring, surface-level chat into a really meaningful conversation. It's this powerful idea called vertical curiosity. So instead of jumping around from topic to topic, the weather, where you're from, what you do, you pick one thing they said and you dive down. You go deeper with really thoughtful follow-up questions. Let me show you what I mean. Horizontal curiosity sounds like this. So where are you from? Oh, Chicago. Cool. What do you do? I'm in marketing. Nice. Enjoying the conference? See, it's just a checklist. It goes nowhere. But vertical curiosity takes one of those answers and digs in. Oh, you're in marketing? That's fascinating. What's the most challenging part of your job right now? Suddenly, you're not just collecting facts. You're uncovering a story. And here's the crazy part. This is exponential. Someone gives you just one little detail, you ask one good follow-up question, and boom, their answer suddenly gives you 3 new directions you could go. You pick one of those, and their next answer opens up even more possibilities. All of a sudden, you're not desperately searching for something to say. You're navigating this huge, interesting map of a conversation. All right, so how do we put this into practice? To get good at vertical curiosity, you need some good launch points. So let's build your toolkit with a few really smart, open-ended questions you can use pretty much anywhere. You see, what makes these questions so good is that they can't be answered with a simple yes or no. They actually invite a story. Asking what inspired someone to show up gets to their motivation. Asking about a quiet passion, that's like opening a door to who they are outside of their job title. These are designed to get the ball rolling in a really interesting direction right from the start. Now, these questions, these are absolute gold. Why? Because they immediately position you as someone who is curious and growth-oriented. You're not asking for a job or favor, you're inviting them to share their wisdom. It can instantly create this cool little mentorship moment and shows you take your own development seriously. And finally, we have questions that help bridge that gap between professional life and personal life. They're not too nosy, but they acknowledge that we're all whole people, not just our job titles. This is how you find real common ground, and that's where trust is really built. So it's really important to get this. These aren't just clever lines to memorize. They're not tricks. They are the practical, real-world application of a much, much deeper skill. What we've really been talking about this whole time is social intelligence or emotional intelligence. You've probably heard it called EQ. It's all about being able to read a room, to understand how people are feeling, and to manage your relationships effectively. It's the skill that separates the good networkers from the truly great connectors. Think about it. When you make that choice to be interested instead of interesting, you're practicing social awareness. When you ask those thoughtful, vertical questions, you're practicing relationship management. These little techniques are actually exercises for building your EQ muscle, and that's a skill that pays off in every single part of your life. And that, to me, is the most empowering part of all of this. This isn't about having some magical, innate charisma. No way. Being a great conversationalist, building strong relationships, it's a skill. And just like any other skill, it's something you can practice and get better at. So please, never forget this. Your next big career move, your next game-changing partnership, maybe even your next great friendship, it's probably not going to start with a formal presentation. It's going to start with a small, simple, genuine moment of connection. It's going to start with small talk, done right. So I'm going to leave you with a challenge. The very next time you're talking to someone new, what's the one thing you're going to choose to get truly curious about? Because that single, simple choice, that could be the beginning of something really incredible.